Hello everybody and welcome to another video. This video is part 11 of my F1 2020 MyTeam Career mode, and we are here for the Austrian Grand Prix. Not the Starmark Grand Prix this time, but the Austrian Grand Prix. Hopefully this car runs better. We have decent straight line speed and we can corner pretty decently, so hopefully we can run well. But without further ado, let's go into qualifying for the Austrian Grand Prix. Austria is a very short track and therefore means have short lap times and very close margins. So we need to be able to take advantage of the track and gain as much time as possible through every corner, as it's only 10 corners. Well, I say 10 corners, it should be 9 really. So it's a kink. But yeah, starting qualifying, we need to get off to a good start because we've got 3 runs in Q1 to try and get through. So we've just got to capitalise on every opportunity. As you can see here, going through turn 1, we are a bit conservative. We're trying not to push the limits too hard just to get a lap in. But as you can see, come the end of the lap, we have gained a bit of confidence as we are pretty much pushing the limit already in this qualifying session, but not fully, which will be shown later on in the session. So as you see, we crossed the line. It's a 1 minute 4.2. And that actually, for a change, puts us ahead of TYRES, who is less than a tenth behind us, but we're ahead for a change. And that puts us off for a very nice jump off point. And this first lap was pretty decent, I'm not going to lie. But starting this second run, it gets better. That's all I'm going to say. Going through turn 1 here, as you see, we're braking much later and cutting the corner a bit more. So we've got a much better run, and as you can see, we're already a tenth up. So yeah, we're much better through this lap. As you can see, come through the final 2 corners, we are 2 tenths up, and come through this final corner as well, we take much more curb on the inside and on the exit, and that puts us 3 tenths up, and we come through for a 103.904, and that puts us into P18 ahead of Haas and George Russell. So we're only 3 tenths off the next car, which is Kevin Magnussen, and 4 tenths off Lando Norris. But I'm going to be quiet for this final run, as it's a pretty special lap. It's not the best, but I mean, we can't do much better, so I'll just let you watch this lap. So as you can see, through that lap, I failed to see how we can make that much better. We pretty much nailed every corner, and we were teetering on the edge of invalidating throughout most of that middle sector. So it was a very good lap, and we ended up being a tenth faster with a 103.8. We out-qualified both the Williams and our teammate, TYRES, by 3 tenths of a second, which is actually a pretty decent feat. But here we are for the race.
This is it then, race day in Spielberg for this year's Austrian Grand Prix. The grandstands were a sea of red in 2019 thanks to the commemorative hats in honour of the late great Niki Lauda, who took home victory of course back in 1984. And it's a sellout crowd once again here today. It's one of the shortest laps on the calendar today then, with 7 rights and just 3 lefts, making up the 10 corners of this high-speed circuit. Turn 2 is barely a corner at all. They'll be flat out through there, a left-hand kink into the uphill braking zone of turn 3. Turns 1, 3 and 4 are all potential opportunities to overtake. Alongside me once again for coverage of today's race, it's none other than the great Anthony Davidson. Let's start with Racing Point. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Verstappen, Alexander Albon, and Perez, Ricciardo, Sainz, Stroll, and Kimi Raikkonen, Gasly, Leclerc, Kevin Magnussen, and Kvyat, Norris, Giovinazzi, Romain Grosjean, and the Professor, Russell, Delatraz, Latifi, and Esteban Ocon rounds off the grid. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
So as you see here, we're on the grid. It's going to be dry most race, but there's one block of rain at the end, and it's going to be a soft to hard race. We're going for the alternate strategy and pick a bit early, as we know tyre wear can be high around here. So we want to capitalise on that and try to undercut a few people and try to gain positions in the pit stop window. So here we are, start of the race with 5 red lights, and away we go for the Austrian Grand Prix. We jump the Giovinazzi off the line, and Grosjean gets a pretty decent start. We get a very good start ourselves, and we send it down the inside. We try to go down the inside of Charles Leclerc, but we don't quite make it work, because that Ferrari power unit is very nice off the exit of the corner. So we're right behind Daniel Kvyat now. We're up into 16 in this race. We have gained 2 positions off the line as Giovinazzi attacks us around the outside. But going into turn 3, we send it down the inside of Kvyat, and we do have a look at going down the inside of Grosjean and Leclerc, but it's not worth it. We'll be 3 wide, and we'll do what Leclerc did to Vettel in the Styrian Grand Prix. So there's no point in doing that and risking our race and getting damage. But we are up into P15, and that is pretty much where we stay for lap 1. So here we are now on lap 2, going through turn 3. We gain quite a bit of time on Gasly. We do run into the back of him a bit, and we're lucky not to get damaged, but we're now in the slipstream. Get overtake on, and Rich Mick's running, and we're going to send it round the outside of Pierre Gasly and try to hopefully make the move work. As we do, we get the short shift up the third and get the nice traction out of the corner, and we've made the move work. But we're still alongside, but yeah, we send it round the outside. We squeeze him to the outside, and overall it's a pretty decent move, and we're now both ahead of both the Alpha Tauris. But now going on to lap 3, we're now right behind. Well, we're now behind Grosjean. We go through the last corner. We do get a corner cutting, track extension warning, but Kvyat is now attacking us to turn 1. We go around the outside and we defend it brilliantly. We open DRS, and that is the move defended successfully. And we are now catching Romain Grosjean, who has the Ferrari power unit, I might say. So we're doing a very good job in this race to keep up with him. So we're just maximising all the time through courses, and now we're right behind him on lap 7. So this is where things are going to get real interesting. We're right behind Grosjean in P14 in this race, so overall it's a pretty decent start of the race and good first stint. But now here we are, we'll go to the left, we fake to the right, and we get the move done down the inside. We'll squeeze him to the outside. We do lock up a little bit, and he does try to have a bit of a fight back, but he doesn't have the move, and here we are now on P13 in this race. The next car, Charles Leclerc, is actually stuck in a bit of a train, as Grosjean does have a look down the inside, but he's just not close enough, and he slots in behind us now in this race. So we're outperforming this car, as Delatraz is last in this race, but maybe it's a sign that he needs to go. But here we are now on lap 11 in this race. Romain Grosjean goes down the inside, but he backs out as we catch up monumentally to the cars ahead. And I don't know what's going on. They must have been going too wide into turn 3 and got held up. But we're now right behind Charles Leclerc. We're 2/10 away from him, so we can try to capitalise here, as we do have a bit of a look down the inside, but there's no point. We're not close enough. As you can see, throughout the lap, we do gain quite a bit, lose quite a bit of time. But they're going 3 wide now into turn 3, and they come off really badly. We gain 2 positions of Magnussen and Raikkonen, but now we're right behind Charles Leclerc. We've not got quite the grunt down the straight, but we do have quite a few looks around the left and to the right. I have a very late move down the inside. We don't quite make contact, but we do get the move done. But we are side by side now going through this middle sector, so it's very touch and go. But now at the end of lap 12 here, Charles Leclerc does come back at us. He's got that Ferrari power unit, which is working wonders for him, so he gets that move done and defends the move. And we do run into the back of him once again. We're getting very lucky with these moves and not getting damaged, but we are now in the pit window, lap 13. But as we go through to turn 1, Kimi Raikkonen goes down the inside, and we're just trying to defend the position with all our might. Just every move we gain here, as Vettel from the pit lane emerges, and I'm not gonna lie, this caught me a bit off guard when I was racing. There's one Ferrari ahead of us, so I start seeing things. But yeah, Vettel come out of absolutely nowhere, and we do run into the back of him briefly. We just put him off kilter on the exit of turn 3, so we have DRS open, but we're not running overtake. This isn't our fight. There's no point in losing time battling Vettel when Raikkonen's right behind us, and this is crucial for this race if we want to get points. We've got to choose our battles, so no point battling Vettel because we can. So here we are on lap 13 now. It's pit window time. we're pitting in this race, and we just got to, hopefully our team gives us a very nice one. As we go through the pit lane now, we brake very late, get just under the 50-mile-an-hour speed limit, and overall we've got to get, hopefully our guys give us a nice pit stop. As we're in the pit box now, it's not great, it's 2.8 second pit stop, it could be better, but we've had better, but there's no point bashing the team. This pit stop's done, could be better, but yeah, but we rejoined. For once not last in this race, and we're in P18, so there's no point. Well, it's going. Well, I say no point. It's pretty decent race. As we are now here on lap 19, Kimi Räikkönen goes to the left, but we cut that off and he goes down the inside into turn 4, and we're right behind Daniel Ricciardo. So this was a really tough decision to make. Do we battle Räikkönen? But we do decide we want to battle him as we go down the inside in this left-hander in the middle sector, and overall we're holding on. We're holding on. That's all we need to do. As we send it down the inside of Räikkönen, and that is that move defended successfully. And now on lap 19. Kimi Räikkönen comes back at us. They seem to like going down the inside there, and there's no point battling. I did decide I want to let him through, as we do want to try to gain gain time on Ricciardo, as he's 1.9 seconds behind us and 1.7 behind Räikkönen. But as you see on lap 25, we actually do end up losing time to Ricciardo, and at this point I sort of thought there was no point in sitting behind Räikkönen. We're losing time, and he's in 10th. If we wanted to have a shot at gaining points, we can stick out in front and defend the position, and with their 12 laps to go. Kimi Räikkönen is now behind us in this race, and we're going to have to defend like hell. But here we are, lap 31 in this race. Kimi Räikkönen did fall back a little bit, but now he's back. Esteban Ocon is out of the race, but now Kimi Räikkönen is going to go down the inside into turn 3. We try to send it around the outside, but we decide we want to cut back instead. But we do run into the back, which defeats our chances of doing that. But now we've got to do it like we did before. Overtake on, DRS open. What else can we do? We're going to have that Ferrari power unit's got some serious grip behind it, but we stand it from a mile back and we squeeze him on the exit. Lucky not to do an Albon, well, Hamilton to Albon, but we made it work. And now we have 5 laps to go. Yeah, 5 laps to go. 4 laps to go, and we're defending for our life. Like we're defending like our life depends on it. We are 5 tenths now ahead of Räikkönen, and here we are on lap 33 in this race. Block of rain is here. It's raining. But there's not. It doesn't rain hard enough for pit this lap, and overall there's no point. So we've got to stick it out in these conditions to the end of this race, and that is not fun. We're worn tyres, and now going to the penultimate lap of the race. We're losing so much time in these conditions. As you can see, we're taking it very cautiously. We're not pushing the limits too much. As you can see, we're in 4th gear and we're getting wheel spin. We put on overtake, but it's really difficult conditions, and Magnus has actually got past Räikkönen, and he's now attacking us in this race for the final points paying position. Oh boy, this is going to be tight. As we're here now, going on the exit of turn 3, we're just about getting traction. We're scrambling for every little centimetre of traction we can get, and now we're in 10th place in this race, going on to the final lap of the race. As you can see, the conditions are getting way worse. We're pretty much full lock for this corner, and man, we're 6th gear we're short shifting up so much, but we're getting wheel spin on 6th gear. But here we are now onto turn 3. We send it around the outside of Kevin Magnussen, and we just got to make sure we get the move done here, but we can't quite make it work. We're still alongside though, which is promising, as we do short shift up the gears very, very early in their cycle. But now that Ferrari power unit is coming into its own, so we stick it into rich mix, overtake mode, but Magnussen sends it down the inside, and we counter him by sending it down the inside of him. So now we are right on the edge. We're just about battling for traction as we're in 5th gear. It's absolutely insane conditions to be driving, as we do hit Magnussen in our attempt to run it around the outside, but we're lucky not to get damaged, but we're still here. We're sending it around the outside. We squeeze him to the inside to back him out, but he holds his own, and now he hits us on the exit. So now going through these final 2 corners, Magnussen is round the outside of us. He is under a tenth behind us, but we stick it into overtake. But now we're in low fuel mode. We forgot our fuel and we are low, and now on the exit of the corner you'd think this would be done for our first points of the season, but we're in full power now and we don't have it well. We're trying to defend, but we accidentally make contact with Magnussen, but it's not enough. He just about gets past, and we lose out and finish P11. Disappointing, but still a great result nonetheless.
A fantastic team effort to secure victory here in the Styrian Alps. Anthony, tell me, what was it that helped them achieve this success?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners today. Result affects the Drivers' Championship. More points for Valtteri Bottas, further solidifying his lead at the top of the table. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for Driver of the Day?
I have to give it to the Professor. They demonstrated a very delicate touch and close proximity to other cars, as well as showing a lot of maturity and patience in difficult situations.
It's time to check out the Constructors' standings. Mercedes continue to extend their lead. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Overall, it was a pretty good race for us. We come through from P18 on the grid to P11, and as gutting as it is to miss out on points by such a small margin, less than a tenth, it's still a good result for us. It shows that I can outperform the car big time. Delatraz is pretty much showing where the car is, and we managed to set a fastest lap of the race, but just 6/10 faster. And bear in mind, this is 110% LA, so I can't get it much higher than this. But here we are on the main screen. It's contract renewal time. Do we or don't we? This is a tough decision to make. Delatraz so far has been a very good wingman, but we decide we want to get a new teammate, and as you will see, we've been watching Nick de Vries. Nick de Vries he's been on our watch list for a while now, and he's the same price as Delatraz, and he's much better. He's got much more pace and awareness. As you can see there, he's got 10 more pace, 15 more awareness, and 10 more racecraft, and the same amount of experience. So for me, it was a no-brainer. We've got to go with Nick de Vries. And as you see here now, we're in a new screen for this game. Contract negotiation. There's high risk, low risk, medium risk, and low risk. And we decide that we're toying with the idea of going medium risk, but we go with low risk, as there's no point risking it. We need him on the team, otherwise we could be driverless. So yeah, we can afford it. We had 5 million in the bank, so there's no point going cheap and backfiring on us. So here we are now. We're allocating activities now before the next race, which is at Silverstone. We do decide that we're going to have aero team building, but not there, because there's no point. There's 3 slots, so we've got a 3 slot there, and it's only 250 driver acclaim bonus. So here we are now. We're deciding what else we want to do. Aero team building, yep, as I said earlier. Weight training to build up to freeze pace, and driver promotion filming, as it's the only 1-day slot, and overall builds up acclaim. So that's 350 acclaim for me. So it's not a bad shout. So yeah, and now we've got loads of money. Like I said, we have 3.79 million, and we're going to get resource point generation on the chassis side and durability, as it is cheaper. So we get 120 more resource points a race, and that would have been the difference of getting a major upgrade for the car for this episode. But we're saving up. We want to get the major chassis upgrade, I believe. So yep, and as you'll see for next episode, there is an invitational event, and we're getting loads of upgrades. We're getting the upgrade, we're getting the engine upgrade, chassis upgrades, and all that good stuff. So without further ado, it's a pretty cracking episode, if I don't say so myself. And if you enjoyed, please don't forget to subscribe, press the bell icon to know whenever I've uploaded a video, and like the video for the YouTube algorithm so you know people like it. And overall, have a great day, and thank you for watching to this point in the video. And if you did, comment. Let me know what you think and what I can do better. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.